Our next story is about yet another Indian neighbour, this time the most fiscally irresponsible one. Yes, I'm talking about Pakistan. After years of financial mismanagement, Islamabad seems to have finally woken up. It is now tightening the belt with a raft of new austerity measures. Yesterday, Pakistan's cabinet held a meeting where they agreed to abolish or merge 82 government departments under 6 different ministries. The ministries were not specified, but earlier reports suggest that they include the following: the Ministry of Kashmir Affairs and Gilgit-Baltistan, the Ministry of States and Frontier Regions, the Information Technology and Telecommunications Ministry, the Industries and Production Ministry, the Health Ministry, and possibly the Education Ministry. Departments in all these ministries are heading for the chopping block. This means a reduction of government expenditure. And that's not all. There are some 150,000 vacant positions in the Pakistani government, 150,000. Islamabad plans to do away with them entirely. It also plans to outsource non-core functions like cleaning services. And that's just to begin with. Eventually, Pakistan wants to do away with clerical jobs as well. It wants government officers to embrace artificial intelligence, so they don't have to rely on staff for paperwork. It is an ambitious plan, and it's been approved by Pakistan's cabinet. But there's already political opposition to this from within the ruling coalition, so let's see if they really go through with it. Some austerity measures have been proposed as well, like a ban on purchase of vehicles at public expense and an end to unnecessary foreign trips by government officials. All of this sounds good until you remember that the government itself will decide what is necessary and what is not. But even if the plan is not foolproof, on paper, it looks like Pakistan is tightening the belt. Which brings us to the big question: why now? What made Islamabad suddenly realize the dire situation? Well, there are 2 factors. One is public anger. Businesses across Pakistan were on strike today. They were protesting against additional taxes. Islamabad's go-to move over the years has been to bleed the people dry. The government usually passed the financial burden to the citizens. But the people of Pakistan seem to have had enough. They're fed up with all the extra new taxes. Protests keep erupting, so the government now knows that it has to contribute as well. And that is why Islamabad is finally starting to cut the fat. This is one reason for the new austerity measures. The other reason is the real dearth of money. Islamabad wants to borrow about $20 billion from external lenders this year. $20 billion this year. Old habits die hard after all. It comes to about $1.6 billion per month. In July, they managed to borrow only a little more than $400 million. That's well short of their target. What's worse is that Islamabad's piggy bank, the International Monetary Fund, is not helping immediately. The IMF won't be giving Pakistan its pocket money till next month, and it gets worse. Pakistan's other credit cards, China, Saudi Arabia and the UAE, are also ignoring it. Forget new loans, these countries are not even agreeing to roll over existing debt. And that would be a big blow to Islamabad. It needs that debt rolled over for the next IMF allowance. It needs to show some money in the bank to get the next IMF loan. So what is Islamabad doing about this? Well, 2 things. One, they're looking at different lenders, including commercial banks. Islamabad is in talks with the Dubai Islamic Bank and the Mashreq Bank, among others. It is trying to convince them of potential investment opportunities in Pakistan. Let's see if the banks decide the risk is worth it. Meanwhile, Pakistan is also reaching out to its old friends like China. The commander of the Chinese Army's ground force, General Li Qiaoming, was in Pakistan over the last few days. He was first greeted by the country's real leader, that is Pakistan's Chief of Army Staff, General Asim Munir. The 2 met in Rawalpindi on Monday. Then yesterday, the Chinese general met Pakistan's President and Prime Minister. General Li was given Pakistan's 2nd highest civilian honor, the Nishan-e-Imtiaz. It seems Islamabad is doing everything it can to curry favor with Beijing. It really needs that debt rollover. And I'm sure another billion or 2 would also be welcome. But until that happens, until Pakistan's finances are shored up, expect more austerity measures. Whether Islamabad actually adheres to them is a whole different story, though.
Across continents, one powerful news source.
Bringing you diverse perspectives on the issues that matter.
We go beyond the boundaries to give you that little extra about every sporting moment.
So thank you for making Firstpost 5 million strong. We're counting on your support, and you can trust us to bring you the news unfiltered and unvarnished.
Climate change is on our doorstep. It's time for a revolution to take root. And it starts with 1.4 billion Indians. It starts with one tree. One tree for humanity. One tree for Mother Earth. One tree for our future. Project One Tree, a News 18 network initiative.
Firstpost reports from the world's second largest continent. Hello, I'm Alison Lagrange. A very warm welcome from Durban, South Africa. We get you the news and the newsmakers from Africa. From elections to climate change to innovations and opportunities. As the world's attention shifts, we report from Africa, the heart of the global South. Join me every weekday live on Firstpost.